Hey guys, welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be talking about the DJI Mini 2 and a few of the features which are missing from this drone. You might not have picked this drone up yet, and just before you go out and rush and buy it, these features might prevent you from even buying that drone and thinking, should I make that step up and get the Mavic Air 2 or the Pro? But I'm not knocking this drone. You've seen from the footage, this drone is brilliant. Such good quality coming from such a small drone like this. It's just so easy to carry around with you, get really nice shots. I've flown this in loads of different locations, done photos, videos. It's decent quality and it's a perfect drone for the beginner, for the first user, but it does have some limitations which I'm going to be talking about on today's video. So the first thing missing on this drone, which I think it really needs, it doesn't have any form of tracking. So it doesn't have active track, it doesn't have the new focus track system that we've got on the Air 2. It doesn't have follow mode, which you had on some of the older drones. It doesn't have anything. So I just think it's perfect for flying around yourself, but it does have that limitation that you couldn't lock on and track, say, yourself when you're running, or if you're cycling, or an object like you could do before. You could lock onto a car and you could get a really nice shot with the drone following you in your car, or you could have it to circle around you. You could have the old follow mode, which was the GPS based thing, so that the drone knew where the location was with the GPS and it would just follow you automatically. Didn't have any of that. Now the DJI Spark, it at least had active track. Didn't have follow mode, but you could put a box around you and then it would follow you, and that was a Spark, and that wasn't much heavier than this. The Spark was 300 grams. This is 249 grams, it's saying. So it could have it, and I'm hoping in a future one it does, because there's been so many scenarios that I've been on. In a recent video when it was snowing, we went sledging, and just being able to drag a box around somebody and the drone automatically follow them as you're sledging down, or if you're going on a bike ride, tracking you as you're on a bike ride. It's such a great feature and something which you can't use on this drone. Now there is third-party apps which can be used, and it does include active track, but you can't use that on the Mini 2. It's locked. You can only use it on the Mavic Mini, so there's nothing else. So for this, at the moment, we're limited. You cannot use active track on this drone, and I think that's missing, and something which I definitely would like in a future update. So the next feature missing, this drone has no obstacle avoidance. So recently I flew around the forest and the drone performed really good. The signal was brilliant, the battery was ace, the picture quality in the video was really of top-notch quality. But you have to fly it carefully, because if you were flying like I was a few of the times, you get really close to anything, such as in my case trees and branches in that forest, it will just keep going and it will not stop. It will just keep on going and crash into that. Before, again, I'll just reference the Spark, which is quite a similar size to this and price points. That would stop because it would have a front position obstacle sensor on it. So as it got close to you or any other object, you would get a beeping sound and it would not go any further. With this drone, it will not stop. So it has no obstacle avoidance anywhere on this drone. The only position sensor actually on this drone is on the bottom of it, and that is solely for landing. So you need to be really careful when flying that drone because it has no position sensors. Something which I hope again can be added on. Now I know with this DJI Mini 2 it's all about the weight and keeping it under 249 grams, but it is under that already. If you was to weigh this, it weighs around about 239 grams. That's with the battery in, and that is thanks to that new battery, which isn't as heavy as the one in the Mini 1. So we've got a little bit of room to play with. So you need to prioritize what you want, but a position sensor on the front of it and the ability then to have active track would help a lot, and just give that Mini 2. We're not going to have all the features because then nobody will buy the Air 2, but just have them extra little features built into this, or potentially the Mini 3, because I don't think they'll give them us as like a software update, because that'll just be a free update and these are selling features. But I think we do need them, and I'm hoping in the future we do get them, because at the moment this drone is brilliant but it is lacking a little bit, and this is what I'm trying to cover today. So the third feature that's missing, this drone films at 4K 30 is the highest resolution. You've got 2.7K 60, but if you're wanting to do slow-mo footage, slowing the footage down, getting really nice shots, then you're going to have to use 2.7K a lot, because that 4K 30, you just can't slow it down. You could slow it down maybe a slight percentage, or you could film at 4K 24. What we need on this drone is 4K 60. That will allow us then to slow that footage down on a 30 FPS timeline by half and get really smooth cinematic footage, but also at 4K quality. Most of the time in all of my slow shots that you see, they're all in 2.7K, because then I can slow it down by half. So I'm not using that 4K 30 as much as I would like, because I like editing and the cinematic look and slowing this footage down, speeding it up. The 4K 30 just doesn't give me that flexibility. I'm stuck at that frame rate. If you was to then try and slow that footage down, it's really choppy. You may have seen from the last video I did, in anyone who's running at 4K 30 and you try and slow it, it looks really laggy and choppy. It's just not usable. So 4K 60 would eliminate a lot of them problems. The phone that I'm actually filming on today is more than capable of filming at 4K 60 and has done for the last couple of years. Every other phone manufacturer out there, majority of them film at 4K 60, and the sensor and lens on this drone is pretty much a phone sensor, so it has the ability to do it. They've obviously just not given us that, so we go and get the Air 2. But the Air 2 has really great features, but it also has limitations here in the UK with all the new drone laws. So you really, if you don't want to do extra courses and pay extra money, then you're limited with this drone at the moment. And talking of features, this brings me on to my next point. So the Mini 2, you've got the 2x zoom and the 4x zoom functions, which are really good, and I use them a lot. I'm not going to knock them at all. They're a really good addition to this drone, and it makes you be able to punch into that shot. They're not an optical zoom, they're a digital zoom. So again, using it at 4K, you can crop in and you don't lose much in terms of resolution. You've got the quick shots, but aside from that, that's pretty much it. You can have photos and you've got panorama mode, but there isn't many features. So once you've used them all, you don't really have a lot of extra features to explore with this drone. It's pretty much a flying drone without a lot of features to explore and to have fun with. If again we just compare it to the Mavic Air 2, which has the hyperlapse function, it's also got HDR photos, they're just something which you could use creatively, and it's not big features that are, you really need a huge sensor for or anything else. Again, you can do hyperlapses on a phone, so why can't we do it on this? It's just a software update. You've got waypoints that you used to have on the older drones. You've still got waypoints on the Air 2, but it's via the hyperlapse function, but that's where you can set different points where you want that drone to go before you even set off flying, and it would do that route for you. And the hyperlapse function is great at filming really great cinematic looking images and photos, like a moving time lapse in the air. Brilliant. We don't have any of that. You've got the quick shots, which are great. Do I use them a lot? Not really, no. I'll use the boomerang a lot and I'll use a circle shot a lot, but not having that ability to lock onto myself or an object or any subject moving, I don't really use them a lot. I'll just fly manually myself. I just feel that some of the features on this drone could be added with further software updates, firmware updates, or just in the new drone. I don't think the Mini 3 will be here for a while. This one was released in November 2020, usually about a year to 2 years before an update. DJI seems to be pushing them out pretty quick. So the earliest we're going to see a Mini 3 is maybe towards the end of this year, the start of 22. So we've got a long time to wait, really. So I just feel the features on this drone, it's got some really nice creative looks to it, quick shots, the panorama photos, but you are limited. You can't go a bit further, and it's disappointing that even on the DJI Spark you were able to do more things. They had more features built into it than the Mini 2. I know it comes down to weight, but not everything comes down to the weight. A lot of it is software related, and they could add it on easily. Will they? I don't think so. They'll leave it for the next drone. And this brings me on to my last and fifth feature, which is missing from this drone, and I hope in a future drones they start including these. And this is ND filters built in to the actual lens. Now at the moment you have to go out and buy third-party ND filters. You don't have to, but whenever you're flying in bright sunlight, these are essential. And I've done a few videos showing you flying without any ND filters on compared to with an ND filter, and it makes such a big difference when you've got bright light. Pretty much you need to buy one. It's the best accessory that you can pick up for this drone. Everything else, it's a lot of gimmicky stuff, strobe lights, different things for your controller, lanyards and things. Push all that away. Go out and spend your money on a set of ND filters. You don't have to get a full set if you don't want to, just get maybe an ND 16 or 32 and then get this bad boy, which is my favourite, which is the CPL filter, and that just makes everything vibrant and saturated, and even on quite a dull day it just looks really nice and summery look to it, almost like you've edited it when you haven't. Just takes out a lot of the glare and reflections from the sun, but makes everything really pop in a nice blue colour. It looks really good. But an ND filter, nevertheless, regardless of which one it is, you do need, because the images from this when you're in really bright light look really blown out and exposed. So having an ND filter built into it with the option to automatically come on or for you to switch it on would be excellent. Some cameras out there have ND filters built in. The latest Sony ZV-1 has an ND filter built in. Other cameras have ND filters built in. So it could do, it's something that you could explore and they could put on, and it wouldn't stop you then having to go out and buy packs of these ND filters. But at the moment you have to, so I really recommend going out and buying one. But I just hope in future that they may bring out an ND filter already built into that camera lens. It'd just be really good and save you some money afterwards. So what I'm getting at really is, I'm not knocking this drone, as I said at the start. I love this drone, I fly it pretty much every day. But if you are someone similar to me and you are flying this drone regularly and you like flying drones, does this drone have a bit of a shelf life, and are you thinking, should I then move up to the next drone? I've flown the other drones because I do reviews on this channel, but if you're someone who just wants the one drone to use for the next few years, are you going to get, not the wrong word is bored, but limited with this drone? And I think you possibly could do, yes, because those features are lacking. And if you're going to be flying regularly, you could have so much more fun with the other features such as the hyperlapse and the waypoints, and that's something you need to factor in before purchasing that drone. But again, by buying one of the bigger drones over 250 grams, you then need to factor in, am I going to have to then spend extra money doing the courses? And if you're in the UK, then you will have to, and I've done another video on that explaining. But if you're not and you just want to fly the drone maybe once a week or whenever you're just going out on little trips, holidays, then this drone is perfect for you and you will have no problem with it whatsoever. But I hope that helped you in just understanding some of the features missing from this drone currently. What would be great is if I do a video in about a month's time saying firmware update, blah 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 blah, we've now got 4K 60, we've now got active trap built in, and that'd be brilliant. So please share this video, go and like and subscribe if you enjoyed that. This drone, again, I'm not knocking it, is excellent. I just hope for some few more features either on this drone or the next drone, and it will then just give that gap between the Air 2 and the Mini 2 just a little bit closer, because at the moment there's a gap of about this much between features, but the Air 2 has too many restrictions in the UK, and that's what's holding me and anyone else keeping that as their full-time drone. So take care guys, hope you enjoyed that. 5 features which are missing on this drone, which I hope come soon. Take care, bye bye.